Today, we are going to learn about Picklist field in Salesforce. So right here, I have my student object. So when I try to create a new student, as you can see, I need to type in a student name and a student birth date. Now I wish to capture two more pieces of information. So I want to capture the student's gender and the courses that the student is interested in studying. So first, let's talk about student gender. So for that, I'll create a Picklist field. And in order to create a Picklist field, all you have to do is click on this gear icon, go into setup. Once you are in setup, click on object manager. Then you can go into the object that you wish to create this field on. In my case, I will go into students. From there, click on fields and relationships. And once you're on this page, click on new. So for gender, we wish to capture the student's gender, and we are going to use a Picklist field. Why? Because we want to ensure consistency. If we create an open text field, then the users will be free to enter whatever gender they wish to. For example, if it's a male, they can enter the word male, or they can even just type in the letter M. Or in some cases, they can even write down man. So for the same gender, there could be three different kinds of entries, or even more. They could misspell the word male or something. So it would not be good for reporting and it would not be consistent. So in order to ensure consistency, we will use a pick list so that the users can only choose from predefined values. Once you select pick list over here, you will click next. You will name the field, give it a label, and then you can choose enter values. And over here, you need to enter your values. Each value needs to be separated by a line. So first value will be male, then let's say female, and then maybe we want to add other. So we have three gender options that the user can choose from. It's either male, female, or they can choose other. After that, you can choose to display this value set in alphabetical order, despite whatever order we entered it in. So for that, you just check this box and it'll display it in alphabetical order. You can mark the first value as default. That means if the user does not choose any value for the gender pick list, the first value would automatically be chosen. In this case, it would be male. You can restrict the picklist values to the defined values in this set, meaning that the users can only choose one of these values and no one can enter a value which is not one of these three. You can choose to have a description or help text, and if you check this box, then this field will become required, it will become mandatory, and the user will have to enter it in order to save a student record. For now, we're going to leave everything as is. We're going to click next. And we're going to keep clicking next until we can hit save. These are some security settings which we're not currently concerned with. And our student pick list has been saved. Now currently the pick list that we created, it was a standard pick list, which means we can only choose one value out of all the pick list options. For example, in this pick list we had male, female, and other. So the user can only pick one of these values for gender. They cannot pick multiple. Now in our next pick list that we wish to create, which is subjects that the student is interested in this case, we need the ability to select more than one value because the student can be interested in more than one subject. However, we do not want to leave it as an open text field. We wish to give predefined values from which we want the user to choose from, and it can be one or it can be many. In such cases, we create multi-select pick list. The process of creating the pick list is exactly the same. All you do is once you're in student or once you're in your object, go into fields and relationships and then click on new. After that, scroll down and where you see pick list, right below you're going to see pick list multi-select. This allows users to select one or more values. Let's see how that works. Now we're going to click next. We're going to give it a name. I'm going to call this courses. And then we follow the same steps. We simply give the name of our courses. So let's say economics, accounting, mathematics, English, maybe architecture, computer science, and maybe let's say another language, German. Now the student can choose one or multiple courses out of all of these. So how many lines do we want to make visible by default? So the user doesn't have to scroll down. 4 is the default, and we're going to keep it that way. Everything else we leave it as is. We click next, and we click next again, and we hit save. So that's how we create both our fields. Now let's go look at our fields in action. Now when we try to create a new student record, and when we click new, we can see all these fields showing up. So we can see gender, which is a pick list. So we can choose either male, female, or other. So for now, I'm going to choose male. So as you can see, I can only choose one value. So I can choose one, and then that gets selected. For courses, since it was a multi-select pick list, I can choose one. For example, I can choose economics. So that's chosen. I can even choose more. So I can choose computer science and maybe even German language. So I can choose 3. Right? And if you notice, you can see up to 4 values on one screen. Other than that, you have to scroll down. So remember, when we were creating the field, we selected 4 visible lines. So these are 4 visible lines. If you want to see more values, you got to scroll down. So that's how pick lists and multi-select pick lists work.